8:45, guys. So I am covering for, I think, Robin, right? So he was supposed to do the presentation today, but I took over. So let me go ahead and share this with you. Hold on, share my screen. Can you guys see my PowerPoint?
Yes, and all the stuff on your desktop.
Oh man. Can you see just the PowerPoint right now or no?
We can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let me minimize this. Okay, so Adrian asked me to do the presentation on what leasehold is, like a while back. So I've decided to do the research and, just kind of tell you guys what it's about, if it's a deal or a not deal, or we call it a drain. So are you guys excited about hearing what the leasehold really is?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So let me see who is on the call. All right. All right. So definition of a leasehold. Who can read the definition? I'm trying to see who's on the call. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'll
Mitzi.
read it.
Oh, Mitzi, are you on the phone?
No, yes. Leasehold means that you own the property, but the land upon which the property is built is owned by the fee holder. This gives you the right to occupy the property for as long as the lease is valid.
Okay. Shelby, can you read what the freehold is?
Freehold, on the other hand, means that you own the property and the land which upon the property stands.
Okay, does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Moving on. Okay, so this is a little bit of history, how we came about to leaseholds. And okay, let's see, who else is there? Laura, can you read this? I mean, if you are stationary, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So somewhat unique to Hawaii, leasehold properties grew out of the large trusts that were created during the Kingdom of Hawaii. So think about Bishop Estate, Campbell Estate, and some of the others. So they once owned most of the privately held land in the islands. Soaring real estate values in the second half of the 20th century, coupled with legal action to force conversion from leasehold to fee simple, meant most of the state's single family homes had converted to the fee simple option by the 90s. Since condos were not subject to the mandatory conversion laws, some remained as leaseholds.
Correct. So you guys know that most of the leaseholds are located in Hawaii, and most of them are condos, not single family homes. Okay, so next one. Why buy a leasehold? So
I got
go
a
ahead.
question for you, Veronika. By the way, if you want to pick somebody, just say Attilio, and I see everybody, and I'll pick people for you.
Perfect.
Good question for you guys. There are single-family leasehold properties on Oahu. What are they?
Hawaiian
They're-
homes.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, keep going.
Okay, perfect. So does anyone think that leasehold can be a good deal? And there's actually buyers that are looking for leaseholds out there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'll actually share with you guys a first-hand experience. I bought a leasehold property 10 years ago down in Waikiki between Alawai and Kuhio. I paid $18,000 for it because it had only a 5-year left on its lease. I spent about $25,000 renovating it. Over the last 10 years, I've made back the 18 plus the 25 and probably another $10,000 or $15,000 in profit. Now,
How did you manage to have 10 years on it if it was originally 5?
Because they kept giving us another 3 years, 2 years. And then at the end, we were literally on a 90 days notice to vacate. So the risk that I was willing to take, what brought my risk down in the beginning? What brought my risk down? Somebody quickly tell me.
Initial investment was so low?
$1,000, the purchase price.
Was it 18? I thought you just got him out of the.
No, it was $18,000. I remember it because I always talk about this property all the time. And but what was I hoping for?
Cash flow, return.
Yeah, return on investment is one, and that's what's true of any kind of property, but specifically on leasehold, what was I hoping they would do? One of two things.
Let you purchase.
Turn to fee simple.
Keep doing
Yeah.
a lease, or give me a fee simple conversion, and then I win the lottery and I owned a $300,000 property that I bought for 18. The point being on this real life example is that leasehold is a good deal. What did you say in the beginning? It's either something or a drain.
It's a deal or a drain.
It's a deal or a drain. It was a deal. Right at the last moment, it ended up being a drain, but it was a deal because I made money. And I'll take that and I'll do it all over again, day after day after day. Keep going, Veronika.
Okay. So why buy a leasehold? Affordability, lifestyle, income opportunity, monthly cash flow. JT, can you tell me about lifestyle a little bit? Why to buy for lifestyle?
Well, because most of the leaseholds are going to be relatively inexpensive. If you bought the fee simple, a mortgage on it's going to be higher. So probably lifestyle is going to be saving money, and then depends on where the building is. Most of them are going to be in Waikiki.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be living the Waikiki lifestyle.
Location. A lot of them are situated in a very prime location by the beach, like Kahala, like Gold Coast, like, Waikiki. So people buy for lifestyle. Okay, next one. Who is your leasehold buyer? Mitzi, can you please read the slide?
Investors, lifestyle buyers, seniors, college students.
Mitzi, can you real quick tell me why college students can be a good buyer for this leasehold?
Definitely college students don't have a lot of savings and they like the lifestyle, especially living in Waikiki. The party is there. They want to.
No, Mitzi, no. So the reason why the parents would buy the leasehold for college students is because it's only for a certain time, right? 4 to 5, 4 years? So they will just get a cheapy leasehold to get their kids, college age kids out of the dorm environment, so they can have privacy pretty much for a very reasonable price. And then they can also pocket some rental money as well once their child is out of school. So let's go on. What to look for in MLS? All right, so anybody can read this one?
I'll read it for you. Public and agent remarks, total maintenance fees, lease expiration year, current monthly lease rent, and lessor's name. Oh, by the way,
highlighted.
Yeah, lessor. Yeah, I remember this from real estate school, freaking 14 years ago. Lessor means they're the person behind the door. The lessor is behind the door.
Correct. So I highlighted that all the important areas on MLS on this page right here. Attila, can you tell me why it's important to know lessor name and probably find out their contact info as well?
Just to see if you can negotiate, I don't know, a fee conversion. See if they want to sell the fee to you.
Exactly. Just bug them, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Next slide. Did you know, Laura, please, first one.
Mortgage plus total monthly fees plus current monthly lease equals total buyer's monthly payment.
Did you know, Evelyn? Evelyn, is she on the call? I'm sorry.
I don't know. The value of a leasehold property typically declines in the last few years of the lease, which might make it a good opportunity for a parent looking for student housing and a couple of years of rental income.
Here's the response to your question, Mitzi. So financing for leasehold properties is difficult to get and often unavailable for units with a short time left on the lease. If buyers financing, look for properties with at least 30 years left on the lease. JT, oh, sorry. Okay, so he's not available. Most landowners,
Go
ahead.
You want me to read it? Okay, most landowners are quite about their intentions with the property, but researching their business practices and operations can yield critical data. Have they shown interest in possibly selling the fee at some point? Do family members live in the building? How active are the landowners in the building? Management? Are repairs and upkeep tended to in a professional manner?
So why, can anybody help me with this? Why is this information critical?
I can, Veronica. I had a client looking at a leasehold one time, and she was asking whether the fee was ever going to become available. And Howard actually guided me to look at the entire building in the MLS to find out whether some of the units were listed as fee simple. And that's an easy way to quickly gauge whether or not they may or may not be open to a fee simple conversion. It turns out that some places are and some places aren't. And then you could see, based on the fact that some of the units were already fee simple, that it looked like they were starting to convert to a fee simple model. So we were able to use that knowledge to say, well, it looks like some of them are being converted, and then gauge the client's seriousness about that particular unit.
You know, so I want to chime in real quick. If that question comes up and I'm on the phone with the client, here's my response in one sentence. We'll find out. Even if the whole building is leasehold, you still should ask, because you don't know if right now they're working on offering the fee, because it comes and goes. So ultimately, the answer is, even if you do all this research, go ask. And go ask again and go ask again, and check in and check in and check in, and make sure you're talking to the right person. If it's individuals, probably have a higher probability of success. If it's somebody like Bishop Estates, go pound sand, because it's this big, huge bureaucratic entity. But I'm happy they're that way, because they manage a multi-billion-dollar estate that helps educate Hawaiians, of which is my alma mater. So, okay, that's all right. All right, keep going, Veronika.
Agreed. For investor clients, research if the property is permitted for short-term rentals. Why?
Airbnb.
Airbnb.
That's it in one sentence. Here's what I'm going to tell you, though. So somebody tell me, what deems research? What tells you that for certain that building or that unit is available for short-term rental? I think Shelby was asking the question earlier.
Yeah, it's all about zoning.
Zoning.
Zoning is one. What's another one?
Also, if there's other rentals in the building, that's like an indicator.
The management.
That's an assumptive way of looking at it, not looking at other rentals, because but 75% of the Airbnbs are illegal right now. So it's zoning, and what else?
Maybe like is it through the building by what they allow and what the
House rules.
house rules? Yeah.
Those are the only two things that are acceptable, and you got to have both. By the way, can it stay in the house rules but not be in the proper zoning? Yes. So you got to have both. Do not, you are a licensed individual, do not tell a client just because there's 50 Airbnbs in that building that it's legal to do an Airbnb in that building. You will get sued if, and by the way, they're cracking down on this stuff. So, and you could get sued 10 years from now, because you told them that was a legal Airbnb. And 10 years from now, all of a sudden, City County of Honolulu is cracking down on everybody and making huge fines. Keep going, Veronika. Good stuff.
Okay, so renegotiation dates are established typically at 20, 25, or 30 years, at which point the landowner can establish a new lease rent fee. Okay, any questions on that? No. What happens at the end of lease? Yeah, all the buyers will probably ask you that. Leasehold property owners have the right to extend their lease offerings indefinitely, renegotiating new leases that can extend for 20 or 30 or more years, sell the fee or lend ownership to the homeowners, or take away the property and typically any structures on the property at the conclusion of the lease with no money owed to the homeowner. Go ahead.
No, I want to give you guys a real life example of my property in Waikiki. I got a letter from the management company saying we had 90 days, we're going to get 90 days to vacate. And literally, so I had to finish up my vacation rentals, of which it was legal. I had to actually cancel future reservations. And then we had to go down there the weekend before and strip everything down to the walls and literally just sell it. On the May 1st, a big fence with barbed wire on the top was put around the building, and that was it. That's real life.
Yep, so they give you a notice to get out. Summary. Simply put, a leasehold property is one where the land and the buildings on that land have different owners. Leaseholds have pros and cons. Do your due diligence. Find out if a leasehold is the right fit for your client. Most leaseholds are located in Oahu and are condos in Waikiki, downtown Waikiki, and the university area, with a few scattered in Pearl City and Windward, Oahu. For luxury lifestyle buyers, check out leaseholds along the Gold Coast, Diamond Head, or Kahala.
I think we've got an REO coming up.
That's leasehold.
That's lease. I think it's the Kahala. Howard is Howard still on the call?
He's pretending. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a 1,500 square foot, maybe oceanfront. We haven't got in it yet, but yeah, it's in the Kahala Beach.
I'm interested to buy it.
What price gonna be on that one? Just get ready, guys, for these calls.
I don't know, probably in the 100,000 range.
100,000 on the beach.
Yeah, and then,
I'm already
freaking
shaking my
awesome.
head. I'm already shaking my head. This is when you
Veronika.
know.
Veronika, isn't your client trying to sell a leasehold unit? We've got it listed right now in Waikiki.
Yep.
Do we have any offers on that yet?
Not yet. I mean,
So,
we have traffic.
because I may be buying it, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's done.
Let's do this, Atilio.
Yeah, I also have one in by the university that's leasehold that I personally own. The purchase price at that time was about $30,000, so I paid cash for it below that. So I have no mortgage on that. My leasehold plus maintenance fees is about $600 a month. I rent it for $1,000. So I have $400 positive cash flow that just goes into an account. I set it and forget it.
Atilio, I have a question. How long will it take you to pay off your initial investment?
I have no idea. I haven't even run the numbers. It's like set it and forget it. This old Chinese family owns it. They'll probably own it forever and ever and ever because it's income. If it converts, I'll be ready to go. If it stays the way it is, I'm okay. It's right next to university. And what's important about being next to university? This is true of pretty much most universities.
College students.
They always have a shortage of housing. I've never been to a university and I've attended some and that's ever had enough housing for students. Never. So I always have an opportunity to get people in there. By the way, I don't even have a student in there. It's some worker. The first tenant was in there for 5 years. This one's been in there year 3 now. Keep going.
I remember, this is something that I'm guilty at too. So when talking about leaseholds, do not roll your eyes, stern warnings, steer away from leaseholds. Instead, listen to your buyer's priorities, educate on pros and cons, determine if leasehold is the right fit for your buyer. If you find a sweet deal for your investor buyer, they will purchase more. I mean, based on my research, some of the investors out there own, more than 10 leaseholds out there for cash flow.
I'm going to tell you guys what has been the biggest game changer in the last 5 years regarding leasehold properties. Think about it.
The Airbnb laws?
Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
I started with VRBO. By the way, I know everything about the online platforms. I did VRBO in the beginning, about $600-700 a year, all you can eat. The reason why I went to the Airbnb platform is because they make money when you make money. They get 3% of your rental income, so they want you to be successful. And Airbnb, we went to a presentation. They own almost like 45-50% of the market versus Airbnb at 10 or 15%. You're going to notice, and I don't have broadcast TV, so I was in the mainland and I got to see a lot of broadcast TV. VRBO is running some very, very slick commercials right now because they don't have any market share. But don't be fooled by their commercials that they're running. Has anybody seen the VRBO commercial?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? Maybe they're only running it in the mainland, but it's pretty slick. But keep going, Veronika.
By the way, Atilio, the leasehold that we have for sale right now in town is permitted for Airbnb, so you should look into it.
Yeah, I had Howard research that in the beginning. As soon as that popped, I already have somebody that I'm thinking about that's going to help me manage it. Go take a look at it, and that may be my next property. So, and we never, at this team, you guys can all say, we never talk about anything that we aren't personally involved with or have firsthand knowledge of. Okay, no theory here.
Okay, so example of a sweet deal. Kuhio Avenue, buying price $80,000 for 1-bedroom condo in Kuhio Village. Average daily rental to tourists $130 a night. Occupancy 292 out of 365 days a year, 80%. $130 a night multiplied by 295, it equals to $37,960 a year. So minus $66.12 a year in lease rent and building maintenance fees, minus $75.92 a year in rental agent fees at 20%, which it ranges at between 15 to 20. Net profit $23,756 a year. You pay off your initial investment of $80,000 in 40 and a half months. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you, Veronika.
Any ahas, please. Don't leave me yet.
Here's the big aha. You don't pay off that mortgage. Who's paying it off? All those freaking
Renters.
all those freaking tourists that you hate taking up all the beach space and driving super slow when you go inside. Those guys are the ones paying off your mortgage, not you.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful and kind of explained.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Veronika.